My phone buzzed at 11:04 a.m. while I was elbow-deep in a database query. A typical Tuesday. Nothing dramatic ever happens at 11:04 a.m. Until it does. Mara, hey, absolute emergency. Reese got into some trouble. He's in jail. Bail is set. I'm using our vacation fund to bail him out. It's an emergency. You understand? Not a question. A statement. I read it once, twice, a third time. Each repetition colder, sharper. I felt something click inside me. A small, perfect mechanical sound. The kind that means a process has started and there's no going back. Our vacation fund was more than money. It was a promise, a shared dream. 2 years of deposits, $14,200 total. I'd contributed $7,200, precise, monthly, automated. Mara had added $7,000 when she could. We were going to hit $15,000 and then finally choose a destination. But apparently she'd already chosen hers, back to her ex, Reese, the eternal disaster. He was her favorite sob story. He's just misunderstood, she'd say. He's got a good heart, Leo. He's like family. And now apparently, family meant funded. I stared at the text until the screen dimmed. Then I typed 2 words. Me. Family first. Her reply was immediate. Thank you, you're the best. I knew you'd understand. I'll make it up to you, promise. I didn't reply. I opened my bank app, transferred $7,200, my exact half, into my personal account and left hers untouched. Then I opened a travel site. Japan, one way, premium economy. I'd always wanted to go, but Mara thought it was too far and too weird. Perfect. I booked the ticket for Friday, submitted my PTO request, and went back to work. There was no anger, no heartbreak, just stillness, the kind you feel when a long, slow calculation finally balances. By 3:30 p.m., my phone buzzed like a trapped hornet. Calls, texts, notifications. I ignored them all until the voicemail came through. Her voice, shrill and cracking. Leo, what did you do? I'm at the bail bondsman. They need 10 grand. I went to the ATM and there's only 7,000 in the account. Where's the rest? You said family first. He's stuck in there. His mother's crying. How could you? I listened twice. Then I whispered to no one, I am putting family first. Mine. By that night, she'd left 27 missed calls. When the knocking started on my condo door, I didn't flinch. I'd already called a locksmith at 5 and had the locks changed. Leo! Bang! Bang! You coward! You thief! I sat on the couch, folding clothes into a suitcase. 10 minutes of pounding, then silence. 30 minutes later, another knock. Firm, official. Through the peephole, 2 police officers. And Mara, blotchy with tears and fury. Sir, the older officer said, weary already, we received a call about a theft. I handed over printed statements. Joint account officer. I took my contributions. Hers remain. She informed me she'd use our money to bail out her ex-boyfriend without consent. The officer scanned the papers, then her text on my phone. His expression went flat. Ma'am, this is a civil matter. He didn't steal anything. Mara's lip trembled. But my things! I packed them, I said. They're by the door. The younger cop sighed. Civil standby, ma'am. Get your essentials. She shoved past me, trembling with hate. You're a sociopath, she hissed, grabbing her makeup bag. A spreadsheet pretending to be a person. I smiled. I'm a spreadsheet who doesn't pay for his girlfriend's ex's bail. Her gaze landed on the painting above the sofa, her grandmother's landscape. I'm taking this, she snapped. No, you're not, I said. It's mine. Your grandmother gave it to me. Proof? A photo on my phone. Me and her grandma smiling, the card in view. To Leo, my favorite computer whiz. So glad you love the painting. Happy 30. Love, Ma. Even the officers smirked. Leave the painting, ma'am. She left purple-faced, dragging boxes down the hall. You'll die alone with your stupid money. Probably, I said, but I'll die solvent. The next step was almost too easy. I made an anonymous call to Grace's firm's compliance hotline, disguising my voice. I mentioned account numbers, false vendors, irregularities in marketing expenses. The seed was planted. 3 days later, Grace came home pale. They brought in auditors, she said, her hands shaking, Cole's being questioned. I stirred risotto at the stove, calm as ever. Audits can get messy, I murmured. You should be careful. That night, I watched their messages upload in real time. Panic, desperation, talk of Cayman accounts and early exits. Each word was a confession. When the arrests came, they came fast. Cole was led from the office in handcuffs. Grace was summoned for questioning. She called me from the station, her voice small. "Ethan, they think I'm involved. I swear I didn't." "Then you have nothing to worry about," I said, and hung up. She came home that night to find divorce papers waiting, alongside printed transcripts of her betrayal, neatly arranged under warm lamplight. Her face went white. "You knew." "I knew," I said, "and I documented everything." She pleaded, wept, lied again. I listened like a scientist watching a failed experiment. "You've ruined my life," she whispered. "No," I corrected, "you did that yourself." 2 days later, her best friend, Melanie, showed up at my door, guilt written all over her face. She confessed that she'd helped Brace hide valuables, even researched countries without extradition treaties. "They were going to take everything," she said. "Empty your accounts and disappear." I thanked her for the truth, recorded her statement, and added it to my file. The pattern was complete. Cole received 6 years for fraud and embezzlement. Grace got 3. The judge said her messages displayed calculation, not coercion. He was right. I sat in the back of the courtroom as the gavel fell. She looked back at me once, eyes filled with something between rage and regret. I felt nothing. Months passed. I sold the house, left my firm, and started a consultancy on corporate fraud prevention. Irony suited me. The world now paid me to detect the kind of deception that had destroyed my marriage. Sometimes Amanda joined me on my sailboat, New Balance, as we drifted on Lake Michigan. We'd watch the city glow against the water, 2 survivors of the same storm. "Do you ever regret going so far?" she asked once. "No," I said. "Forgiveness is personal. Consequences are universal." She nodded, and we watched the sun sink below the skyline. A year later, I received a letter. Her handwriting, Kentucky postmark. "Ethan, you were right. The grass that looked greener was painted plastic. I don't ask forgiveness, only that you know I finally understand what I destroyed. Grace." I folded it once and placed it in a drawer. Not to treasure, not to forget, just to keep, like a record in a file that's been closed, balanced, and reconciled. Life moves forward, and so do I.